Hey, what's up, everyone? Welcome to episode 14 of the Seed to Harvest series. Go back and check out our last episodes. We went all the way back to germination, cleaning tents, seedlings, temperature, humidity, everything to this point, and we are officially in flower. So this girl right here is week 4 flower. She's done stretching. So we're going to talk about cleaning up the canopy, temperature and humidity, making sure you're getting good airflow in there. And then over here in the 8x8 and the 4x4, we're day 1 flower. So we're going to talk about getting ready for that stretch phase. We're talking about our Grandmaster LED Explorers. We are going to do some spectrum tuning, talk about cool white, warm white, what the difference is, and why we're going to change the spectrum a little bit in here. And then don't forget our jalapenos and banana peppers. They're flowering. They got some veggies coming off there, so I'm really excited for this episode. Really excited to get everything to flower. It's been such a journey. Episode 14. Check it out now, Gromies. All right, Gromies, really excited. Everything's in flower. Super stoked for this. So we got the girl over here, just flipped flower day 1. Same thing with the 8x8. I want to dive into this first. So you know we had the predator mite issues, and we treated that with some pyganic and some essential oils, and she is bouncing back great. You can see she's got her color, and you've been following along. This from a week or so ago, even 2 weeks ago, has blown up massively. This one was under attack the most, but it's still showing great signs of health with the new growth here. So that shows me that the pest pressure is off. You can see we got the mulch back in the soil after we took all that cover crop, which was leading to our pest issues. So if you're going to grow cover crop, just be good with it, keeping a good IPM schedule. If you just want to put mulch on top to protect the soil, that's what we're going to do from here on out. Same thing back here with the pill bug issues. We had some funky growth back here and we got a runt, but these have bounced back really good. Beautiful, healthy leaves. So that shows me with our beer trap that we have down here has done really good with, and it's been collecting a lot. I mean, it's been filling up bottles of beer, which is horrible that the soil got to that, but it's really cool to see that it's actually helping. The Goat Genetics Mendo Dope Boy collab looking beautiful. We'll get in here and clean this up. Before we do that, I want to talk about these lights real quick. So we're 100% cool white, very good for vegetation sage. It's all about hormones and the lights that they're giving off to the plants. So we're going to go over here to our Grandmaster LED controller, which controls everything. We're at 40%, about 650 PPFD. So you can see we got 100% cool white. We're going to get a little warm white in here, that red light. It's going to activate stretch, hormones, flowering hormones, but we don't go too crazy because we don't want it to stretch too big and not be able to support the weight of the flowering nugs. So we'll come in here and we're going to turn this down to about 60%. And then we're going to come over here to the warm white and we're going to go about 40%. So what this means is now we're going to have some red and some blues going in the flowering. So now that we have that, we're going to be activating hormones for flowering, but we're not going to allow these to completely stretch up without keeping that internodal spacing good. So that's what I love about these lights. You can see the difference in the color in here. We were all cool white. Now we got a little warm white in here with our under canopy lighting. So I'm really excited to see how these are going to work. This is our second run with the lights. We're starting to learn more about spectrum tuning and what kind of PPFD and what kind of light regimen we should have on these. But this is the best one that I found. So we're going to try it out and see how it works. So like I said, predator mites at bay here. So we'll get in here and we'll pull some of these inner leaves. See this one right here that's blocking? We'll come in here and pull this off, and now it's going to open up all of these other nodes. Same thing here. We'll pull this. Now we got other nodes popping up, and you can get in here and clean up as much as you want. Same over here. So we got these that are pointing in. Come in here, pull that off. So you don't want to go too crazy right now. I like to wait till after stretch to see where everything is going to stretch up. But these bigger fan leaves, if you have a big healthy canopy, don't pull them all, but you can pull a significant amount because there's enough fan leaves, or call them solar panels, to still bring in that light and do their job. And cleaning up this under canopy is definitely going to help. You don't want to go too crazy because, like I said, you want to wait for everything to stretch. Like this one we could have pulled right here, but it may stretch up, so we left it, and we'll see after week 3 flower if we want to pull it or not. Back here to the Tray2Grow, we've been training heavily. We accidentally topped it. We were doing some training and snapped the main branch. Really bummed about that because we don't like to top. But that's okay. It's going to bounce back. We trained everything else down, keeping this even canopy. The system is on. And then back here, we got the beer trap back here, still doing our thing. We're still pretty heavy in pill bugs. You can see we got some rolling around in here, but funky growth on this one. I don't know. That may be more genetics than anything, but these are looking really good. Same thing. Pull off maybe some of these inner leaves to open up that inner canopy. and kind of lay these down a little bit. Goat Genetics Menodope collab, looking beautiful. You can see we got nice healthy green growth here. So we could come in here, see this one right here, we could pull it, but there's only one little one underneath and it's still getting light from the side, so we're not gonna pull that. Let's find one that we could pull. So this one right here, you can see if we move it, we got a bunch of lowers under here. So we're gonna pull that so it can get some light to the fan leaves, controlling that node. Same thing here. We'll come in here and pull this off of here. So you got to be kind of decisive what you're going to pull. You don't have to get in here and pull everything, but a lot of inner leaves is a really good idea to do it, because then it's going to open up that lower canopy during stretch mode and allow them lowers to stretch up. So keeping an even canopy is great. We're about 650 PPFD. We're going to double check this. It may have gone up a little bit with that warm white light. We use the Photone app. It's like 20 bucks a year, and you just put a little piece of paper over your camera. And we've tested this with other apps and other, app like the Apogee, and it's only about 20 to 30 PPFD. And as a home grower, you're not worried about that. So try that Photone app. It's a really good idea. But loving it, Gromies. Day one flower looking really good. I'm really excited. We got the pest under control. We will get a better IPM next grow, but the fact that we're able to treat it with that Pyganic and essential oils in our beer trap and everything isn't as big as I'd like to see, because this is what we want to see. We would rather have a scrog on this, but I don't want to hold this plant up and get too big in here. So we're just going to flip it now. We're home growers. We're not worried about too much, we're trying to get yield, obviously, but we're not trying to go too crazy. So that's it for the 8x8. Let's go over here and jump into the 4x4. Let's check out this 4x4 from Vivo Sun. So right now, all we're doing, week one of flower, is we're keeping the same temperature and humidity. 78 degrees, 70% humidity, that 0.8 to 1.0 VPD in here. And we're trying to keep this canopy even. So over the next weeks, it's going to start to stretch. So it's your job to lay this stuff down and keep the even canopy, whether that means super cropping, lollipopping underneath. You can see this canopy needs cleaned up. But we're not going to pull all of these nodes just yet, because you don't know what's going to stretch. So right now, just worry about keeping it even. Pull some of these bigger leaves off here, like this one right here. It's covering some of those lower nodes. So that's all we're doing, is pulling off inner leaves. Like this cluster right here, we can come in here and pull some of this lower off here. And that's going to allow for this under canopy to get some more light. So you can decide how much you want to take off. I think at this point, you don't want to go too crazy. Wait till she stretches, and then you can decide what you're going to pull off, because who knows? This may stretch up and become a top node, and if you pull this off now, that's yield loss. So just clean it up enough to keep good airflow in here. We got two fans going, one at the canopy and above the canopy. We don't have an exhaust system because I am in a basement, so in vegetation, if I run an exhaust, it pulls my humidity out, and we don't want to do that. So with the tent being partially closed most of the time in veg, we can keep temperature, keep humidity. But now that we're in flower, the tent stays open because we have higher PPFD, warmer light, less humidity. So we're able to keep a good environment. And with the tent door open, you have good airflow with fans pushing it around. So you don't absolutely need an exhaust system unless you're in an environment where you have to have the tent closed. So if you can keep the tent open in flower, you're good to go. Don't get an exhaust system, because in veg, you need to keep the humidity. And with these tents and having little ducts in them, they're going to get fresh air and good air exchange. So don't overthink this process, Gromies. Let's go over here, check out this 100-gallon bed. Welcome to the 100-gallon bed. You can see this is week 4 flower, and everything's looking really good. So now you're going to want to do a heavy defoliation and a lollipop if you have time. If you have good airflow, good environment, good VPD, good PPFD, you could set it and forget it, and you'll be fine, because you can see the good airflow that we have in here that's blowing inside the canopy. But if you come under here and see how congested it is in here, you could definitely clean this up, and it is absolutely going to help your yield. Stuff like this, like we talked about, once you're after stretch, this is done stretching, so it is not going to grow up anymore. So this being as low as it is going to be larvae. You can see the small pre-flowers compared to a top pre-flower here. So we could get rid of a lot of this under canopy, and we will. We're definitely going to clean up the leaves and get everything cleaned up, and we'll show you that next episode, what it looks like after the fact. But something like this, that's going to be a decision you have to make. This is lower, but it's also on its own, so it is still getting the light, especially with this 1,000-watt light. So it's still getting the PPFD. So we will probably keep something like this, but this underneath here, like this, it's in the shade and it's lower. That's something you want to get rid of. Same thing with these under here, get rid of that. Clean up the top canopy like we talked about, that inner canopy. Like you see right here, this fan leaf, we could get rid of that. Get rid of this one. Get rid of that one. So now you can see we have a bunch of lowers uncovered. So that's the idea here. Right here, same thing. You can see that there's lower canopy. Pull this fan leaf off, so now she's uncovered. So that's the idea. If you want to go with the least time in here, just pull off them big fan leaves, because there's plenty of fan leaves in here, and each fan leaf controls her node. So this one obviously is important for this node, but this under canopy isn't getting any of the fan leaves the light that she needs, so you could pull it off of there. So back here we have a big cluster of fan leaves. Pull this off of here, and look, now we have an open canopy in here. Same thing over here is a kind of a cluster going on. Pull some of this off of here, and now you have lower nodes exposed. So that's all you're doing right now is opening up them lower nodes, doing a little bit of defoliation, doing some lollipopping. If you have the time, pull some of this off, because like I said, it's going to save your yield. But everything's looking really good in here. We're gonna just pretty much clean up the canopy, keep that same environment, that 0.1, or now that we're in week 4 flower, we're transitioning to that 1.2 to 1.5 EPD. So now we're in week 4 flower. We're going to go 78 degrees and drop down to 65% from that 70 that we're at. And then we'll drop that 5% as the week goes on, and as the weeks go on, until we get to 55% humidity. We do have great airflow in here, so that's going to be a very, very big concept. If you're going to leave this canopy alone and not clean it up because you don't have the time, make sure you have good airflow. You can see these leaves ruffling. You know that the inner canopy is getting good airflow in here, and you're not going to have stagnant air. The tent is open, so we don't have an exhaust system as well in here. But that's all we're into this right now, Gromies. So flower's looking really good. Week 4 flower on the girls. They're done stretching. We're just killing it up. We're in 100 gallons, so we're not doing any top dressing. We did do a top dress in this 30 gallon. We did 3 cups of craft blend, an inch of compost, and an inch of castings. So she's ready to go. It'll break down over the next 2-3 weeks and get us ready for that stretch phase. And then over here, we didn't do any top dressing in these bigger beds, but we did top dress our Tray2Grow because it's only 22 gallons of soil with 2 cups craft blend, 1 inch layer of compost, and 1 inch layer of castings, and it's got amazing water, so she's able to break it down. We did top water a little bit, because when you do top dress, this is a bottom wicking system, so we wanted to top water to make sure that those amendments get washed down in the soil and make sure that they have enough moisture to break down with the microbes. But everything's looking really good, guys. Really stoked to be in week 1 of flower. I'm always excited you guys come by. Always email me, DM me if you have any questions. Much love, Gromies. We'll see you next episode. We'll have this all cleaned up here. Hopefully we got some more veggies popping on here, and hopefully we get a little stretch action going on. So much love, Gromies. We'll see you next time.